Welcome to They Call Us Villains. I'm the commish. I'm joined by the big boss mailman and DG. All right, before we get started, go ahead, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Let's start it off. How are you guys doing today?
Good, Commish.
Better
All
now.
right.
Welcome back, DG.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Much appreciated.
All right. So let's start off with some little memes.
I love it. That's awesome.
yo, that's actually a really good costume, man.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, dude.
That's like genius.
Dude, that is awesome. I would
Why,
like
why
that.
didn't anybody think of this before? That's a badass costume.
I mean, I wouldn't wear it myself just because you got to wear like those little kind of speedo looking things.
Yeah, yeah. I got the hairdo for it though. I think I can do it.
That's funny.
I could be Kang.
Does he have duct tape on his wrist?
I think so. I think that's what it looks like.
Like Doug bracelets. Yeah.
You know what's
Oh,
funny? As a kid, you never think about it. You never think about it. Oh, it was like a giant brain inside the belly of a humanoid robot. Like
yeah, dude.
as
So
a kid,
bizarre,
yeah, that makes
right?
sense.
You know what? Growing up, a lot of things didn't make sense. We just kind of
Yeah.
went with it, you
Yeah,
know?
you just went with it.
A lot of things still don't make sense.
Did you guys have a good Halloween?
Yeah, it was great. Worked, and then my daughter they went to Knott's.
Oh, nice.
So she
Oh, nice.
yeah, we got season passes, so it's great. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
awesome.
Yeah.
You had a good Halloween, DG?
It's inexpensive too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. We handed out candies here. My neighbor across the way had he does like a little do-it-yourself kind of haunted house. So, man, it attracts a ton of people. So we our first year here, we handed out like maybe two or three kids, and the last 2 years it's been a lot more. But because of that, so it
I
was fun.
see.
It was good. Yeah. What about
Cool.
yourself?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We went around. I think they trick or treated with my girls for like 2 hours, like 6 to 8. They had a nice haul, so that was pretty good. People went a lot crazier with their decorations. They're more intense than other years that I remember.
You're absolutely right, Commish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me as a mailman, like I saw people step up their game. It's like Christmas in October.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
I don't know if you guys have gone to like Home Depot. Even like Home Depot does these crazy Halloween decorations. They got like
Real,
12, like 6 foot, 8 foot monsters and stuff.
Well, you always have those people who are like, "Here, you take my money," and
Yeah. Someone had one like one of these giant like I want to say it was like 10 feet or 8 feet tall. The skeletons with the eyes light up, and they put it on the roof of their house.
Oh wow! Damn, that's
pretty
cool.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started here on some sports talk.
Yes, sir.
Oh, beautiful. Love it. Yeah.
What do you guys think of this?
Yeah, I've been hearing about this all week. Yeah. And it's unreal because, I mean, Kamara was out for the first 3 games?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're drafted. But they're both drafted 2017. Wow, that's hard to believe. Okay. Learn something every day.
Are they gonna? What do you think they're gonna end up at the end of the careers? If you had to guess,
Hall
the
of
same,
Fame.
or
Yeah.
one's gonna pull away from the other.
You know what? I mean, so far so good for McCaffrey. He's constantly injured, and
Yeah.
the 49ers offense is very physical. So hopefully he stays healthy. Kamara is definitely going to outpace him for sure.
Oh.
The Saints offense is not as physical as the 49ers offense. I mean, Kamara is more of a receiver at this point. I mean, the last Monday night game they played against the Jaguars, he was better receiving than he was as a running back. So, yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize that Alvin Kamara was 28 years old.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah.
I mean, for a running back, he's kind of up there in age. Granted,
Yeah.
they're both very young. I mean, he's young.
Yeah. Is running back the shortest lifespan in football?
Yeah. Sadly, I mean, we see Austin Eckler, and he's kind of like up there in age, and that's kind of like with Derrick Henry too. I mean, he's up there in age, big contract. I think that's why the reason they didn't trade him because his contract and his age, and that's why they're giving Tajay Spears a shot. Tajay Spears got he's been getting a lot more opportunities. So it's kind of interesting with these two gentlemen.
I feel like there's some years that it's kind of like dry talent years, so guys who get up there in age get to play a lot longer than they usually would.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
difficult position to play, though. I mean, it's the toughest position. I like how Jeff Mann says it. He's like, somebody's got to carry the mail, and I feel it. The running backs, it's like in the post office. The carrier is the hardest position to do because it's so physical on your body, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Everything.
Oh, it's brutal.
You take a brunt. Yeah, it's the most brutal position, like it is in the NFL. The running back. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I just googled Christian McCaffrey's age, and he's 27. I thought he was way younger. Not much of a difference between these two guys.
No.
The thing with McCaffrey is just all these years that he hasn't played due to injury, especially the first 2 years in Carolina.
Yeah,
and this is the healthiest we've seen him in the NFL. So I'm just pushing forward because he's my running back one.
Yeah.
Convinced. I mean, we're right there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people always say like not to be racist right before they say something really racist. So not to be racist, but I thought Christian McCaffrey was a black guy until I saw. Like really? I had him like on I can't remember when I had him. I had him in fantasy, and he was just racking up points. But I had just seen the name, and then when I saw him, like, oh shit, it's a white guy.
Yeah, dude.
Not many white running backs is all.
No, not at all.
But I mean, he's man. He does it all. I mean, he's a bruiser and he's a pass catching back. He's what you would call a unicorn at running back. He's kind of like an Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler too. I mean, he likes to take the hits. And he's a great pass catching back. But man, McCaffrey, like when he hits the hole, he just goes in and tries to take as many people out as he can when he is running gut. And you love that about a running back nowadays. A lot of these guys, they want to juke, they want to dance. Look at Najee last night. I mean, he got me another teddy, so I was happy about that. But he's the type of guy who wants to dance. He wants to like find the hole, and it's like no. These two, especially McCaffrey. McCaffrey's the guy who's gonna go in there. He's gonna do it all. He'll even throw a touchdown. I mean, he's special.
Do you know what college he played at, Brian?
Yeah, Stanford.
Yeah,
Stanford. Yeah.
Wow.
West. Yeah.
They're not really known for their football team.
I mean, John Elway, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, John Elway. There was another guy. I can't remember now. Maybe I am thinking of John Elway.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, Andrew Luck.
Captain Andrew Luck.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Why are they so mean to Dak Prescott?
He's generally like when he came out. Was he a fifth rounder out of Mississippi State? I mean, this guy was like so humble. He's always been really humble. He has that guy next door type of smile. He seems like he'll be a good neighbor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think that the perception of the Cowboys is this whole thing with America's team, and it's people hate the Cowboys so much that they're going to hate the quarterback. You know?
I think you're dead on, Brian. When you're on the Cowboys quarterback, you got like extra hate gonna just come at you.
But it's crazy because it's like everybody loves Aikman.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Kenny Don. Everybody loves. It's just Prescott, I guess, because he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, and he's a good human being too. He won the award, the community award. The
community award.
Where's on his chest? I'm sorry if I'm like. Yeah, he wears the.
Is it the Walter Payton?
A Walter Payton award. Yeah, it's like, come on. This guy, he's a good human being. I mean, you gotta love somebody who does well in the community, who invests time. It's like I said, Commissioner, and he's actually fantasy relevant this week. I mean, nobody ever really thought about him as a top quarterback this year in fantasy, but football-wise, he's not the guy he once was when he first came in, and we blew us all away. And he's got a tough matchup this week against the Eagles. That's gonna be brutal. I could see the Eagles winning again and still keep that top position in the East. But yeah, this is just a bad meme. I mean, it's all the hate on the Cowboys. I don't think it's all Dak.
Yeah.
And then I guess fans do feel like that too about him, but
yeah.
It's not all him.
But you're right. Troy Aikman does get a lot of love. He never got hate, and I feel like at that time there was no social media, so like the hates toward the Cowboys didn't really have an outlet.
Yeah.
Like it does now.
Yeah.
So like starting with around Romo, it got intense.
Yes. Yeah. So Romo was more flashy. Like Romo was out there and they Jessica Simpson, Carrie Underwood. Romo was kind of like that.
Did Romo date Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, so he started the whole football celebrity
Kelsey and
courtship.
Whip. Yeah. Romo.
Yeah. I think it's high expectation. You know, unfortunately, you know, high profile team, Dallas Cowboys, America's team. You know, and if you're not winning championships, you're not doing anything. You know, and you know, he's had some rough goings, and unfortunately, just hasn't reached that pinnacle. So yeah, yeah, he gets a lot of hate for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And I think also part of the thing that draws hate towards them is the Cowboy fans. They're loud, they're proud, they're out there, man.
Yeah.
They have one good game and they call it a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, they're winning the preseason and they're already calling it the Super Bowl.
Well, let's be honest. That's every team.
That's every team. Yeah.
It's the Raiders, it's the Rams. You know.
Yeah. No. I knew going in this year. I was like, this Rams team. Yeah. I like how even Les Snead, the from the Rams, put out an email to like the season ticket owners saying that like this year was like kind of like it's a mulligan. Like give us a chance. We're not gonna be good this year. Like he's straight up like for a professional team to say do something like that. That's pretty humbling. So.
Yeah.
So when his whole career is over, what do you think the line is going to be on Dak Prescott?
Oh man, you know, I think unfortunately they're just gonna if he doesn't win a championship, it's gonna be mediocre. You know, okay. Yeah. You know, he wasn't Tony Romo. You know, he didn't reach those high levels. You know, but I mean. Like Brian said, you know, he's balled out before. He's had some good seasons. So.
Cowboys to the playoffs, they get a first round exit granted, but he's gotten to the playoffs. It's not like he's not Quincy Jones. He's not some scrub. He's not. He's actually, you know, at times he's carried the team.
Right. Definitely. He got him to the dance, but never closed the deal.
It's kind of like my fantasy football team.
Yo, Brian, I was just gonna say that. 3 times. Hey, Brian, you're on good pace, bro.
Brother.
Yeah, you're on pace to win that trophy.
Come in, you're my roadblock man now.
It's gonna be tough.
You're pretty good.
But you had so Brian and I we had our head-to-head, the two best teams in our NFL league. We went to head last week, and Brian came on top. I think part of the problem that I have, and so I think you have this advantage, Brian, is that I have the quarterback question where I can depend on a Burrow. So like I stream other quarterbacks, and then it's just a coin toss.
Give me Burrow. I'll take care of your problem for you.
You take him off your hands.
Gladly take him off your hands.
Send that trade.
Who's your quarterback? I don't remember who's your.
Justin Herbert, and I got him for free. And he's had his duds, and I put Stafford in there. He's had his duds. I obviously dropped him. I hate myself for saying it, but I think he's done for the year. The thumb injury was from the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And it's on his throwing hand. And it's like, oh. But you know what? I was thinking of, okay, so I want to segue into this real quick. I think that, like I said before, like I want them to lose every game now. Like I'm like, we got a first round pick this year. Let's go to the top. Let's get that first, second pick, third pick, if you what have you. Caleb Williams? Oh, dude, that'd be sweet. Bring over Caleb Williams, like, dude, come stay in LA. You're here. He's at the point where he's not going to win at USC. So he's staying healthy to come into the NFL. And granted, yes, his father said he'll stay another year in college depending on who gets the number one pick. If the Rams get the first pick, he's not going to say no to the Rams. Let's go.
Yes. I agree, Brian. Unfortunately, the Panthers have, they might take him.
Hey, we'll give the Panthers or whoever, we'll give them Aaron Donald. I hate myself for saying that too.
Yeah.
Like, get back on track to winning.
Yeah. Who needs those picks, right, Brian?
They got a couple of first round picks this year, so it's gonna be interesting. I want to see how it all ends up at the end with the draft.
Is Caleb going first?
It has to.
No.
Either him or Drake May. Okay. Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. It's gonna be Washington.
That's what I was gonna say, Brian. Yeah, he's balling right now.
Stud. And then I kind of hope the Chargers lose too, and you go get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Look at her chops.
Yeah.
That's what Herbert needs. He needs Keenan Allen. He's great. He's dependable. He's like a Honda Civic. He's reliable. I mean, like a really nice Honda Civic, a luxury model.
the SI. The SI.
Yeah.
But you need like that dog. Like you need a Marvin Harrison Jr. or something like that. Oh man, Quentin Johnson is not the answer this year for them. The pick out of TCU. A lot of hope and promise, but it hasn't worked out. He's not his way of catching the football is not the same in the NFL. And plus Herbert's throwing some fastballs, so he's throwing the ball way too fast for this kid to even catch the ball.
Hey Brian, I didn't know you picked up Herbert off the waiver wire.
No, in the draft, you know how everybody once we finished.
Okay.
Once we started going through the snake rounds, I got him for free. I was like, he's still on the board. I'm like,
man, you lucky dog.
I just landed him, yeah, because I went this year. I went zero QB strategy, and I went at the end. I mean, I was looking for value. I wanted Lawrence in the beginning, but my brother got Lawrence, and he was like, all right, well. So let me take Herbert. Yeah.
Right on.
Oh. All right. The next couple are going to be a little Raider heavy. Could be a lot of Raider talk.
Oh man, I woke up that morning and I saw it. I was just like, "What? Like, is it April Fool's?" Or
in October?
No, but it was like legit. I'm like, "Oh wow!" And the talk has been how it's the team has just done a complete 180. I mean, we haven't seen the field yet, granted, but that loss against the Lions was just ugly.
Was that the final straw?
I think that was the last straw. I mean, for Mark Davis to actually put his foot down and fire him and the general manager, wow, that was bold. At first, I didn't really think that he cared about the team. I was just like at the point where I was like, you know what, Mark Davis, you're not your father. You're not going to be the great Al Davis, rest in peace, sir. But you made a couple bad moves at coaching. You should have signed Versace for nothing. The players were playing for Versace. I'm like, I don't get it. And you ship him out to the Packers as a special teams coordinator. Come on, I didn't understand that move. You bring in this guy, now you're paying him off. You paid off Gruden.
Yeah.
Now you're off McDaniels. What are you thinking? And you already cash strapped. You're one of the cheapest owners in the NFL. It's just like wow. But they're back on the right track.
How much of this do you think is the fans getting in his face, telling him to fire Josh McDaniels?
I honestly believe it was Devontae Adams. Like Devontae Adams is like either he goes or I go. I think that was a conversation that went down. You didn't trade Devontae Adams. You have him there. You signed him to a contract. You're not going to trade him. You have to get your star player happy. And that's the other reason why I think that the whole thing with sitting Garoppolo, they signed Garoppolo. They want to see what they have in O'Connell and AOC. I'm curious to see what this kid has. Like, he's a rookie. He got his his brain beaten in by the Chargers when his first start. So the kid has a lot to learn. He's not no Will Levis. Will Levis is he's a stud. But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting week. It's a good matchup too against the Giants, the New York Football Giants. So we'll see what happens. Should be. It's not a pretty game, but it should be a game where it's like we're gonna see a different type of Raider football.
Yeah, Brad. Just to piggyback off of you on two elite weapons, Devontae Adams. Geez, what a player, and Josh Jacobs, and you can't put points in the board. Like, come on, and I get it. There's an offensive coordinator and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, come on, dude. They had to get rid of him, and that fan base is just like
they're
brutal.
Say what you will about the Raiders and the memes, and people make fun of them, Raider fans, but that fan base is loyal. They're global. Once they start winning in Las Vegas, they're gonna have a black hole all over again. I could see it, but at the moment, I mean, it's still very transient town, kind of like with us with the Rams and the Chargers.
Yeah,
it's very much where it's like, let me see you win before we actually like give in to showing up to the games and buying the gear and rooting for you. And that's it's like the great Vin Scully would say all the time, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
totally agree.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It kind of looks like Derek Carr. Yeah, at first that's why I started laughing. I thought it was Derek Carr.
Like Derek Carr's brother.
I thought it was your brother.
It does look like his brother.
I was like, John plays with the Raiders.
For those of you who don't know, Aiden O'Connell's a dead ringer for Big Boss's brother.
You gotta get a picture of my brother, and it's a pretty good comparison. I mean, this guy's his face is chubbier. My brother, he's slimmed down a lot. So.
He's got the same mustache.
Yeah, that's mustache, bro. It's a mustache.
Super mustache. Yeah.
And he's a Raider fan, so he's got the Raider gear.
And my brother has a Derek Carr jersey that I gifted to him 1 year for Christmas. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
right
he has a number 4 Derek Carr jersey.
So Brian, who is this guy? I never heard of him.
Aiden O'Connell, if I'm not mistaken, out of Penn State. Oh no, I think he was Purdue. He's a Boilermaker, if I'm not mistaken. He's obviously not one of the top quarterbacks that was taken in the last draft. I mean, last draft was not a big, heavy quarterback draft, the one that's upcoming in 2024.
Yeah.
More like a receivers, DBs, defensive linemen type of draft.
So very low expectations for him.
Very low expectations. Obviously, he needed something to. Obviously, they signed Jimmy Garoppolo for a reason. I mean, they thought Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be the guy who was going to carry them through the season, but Garoppolo's injured. He's injured all the time. He just had recent back injury now. So this is your future for the moment. They're trying to test out the waters and see what he's going to do. I like the move because it's like you draft a guy, you want to figure out if he's going to be a backup in the NFL or if he's going to be your franchise quarterback. And like I said, he got his head beat in, sadly, by the Chargers. I mean, they're just having their way with him. But he was competitive. So I'll give him that. I mean, to play quarterback in NFL, you got to have a lot of heart. You got to be a little crazy. I think I would have made a good quarterback in the NFL. But you got to have a lot of heart, and especially you got to right the ship. I mean, obviously, huge, big move with switching out coaches. They keep talking about how the locker room is a lot more. They're not walking on eggshells, not walking on glass. Like kind of like the quote from Hunter Renfrow. Yeah. That's a forgotten guy too. I mean, he's a really good slot receiver. He was obviously practically. I mean, Lawrence's go-to guy in Clemson back when they played in Clemson together with ETN. So they didn't trade, and that's the other thing. They didn't trade Renfrow. I was hoping they did. They did trade him so I could kind of scoop him up, but they didn't do it. So I mean, you might want to keep an eye on Hunter Renfrow, and see if there's production. But for this week, the word is that Josh Jacobs is going to be feasting. But we'll see about this young man. Nothing but the best, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about the Cowboys. I mean, the Raiders are, despite their lack of success, they're still a big franchise. I mean, this is a big opportunity for them.
Yeah.
That's a big feather in your cap to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders. What do you think, DG?
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, I never heard of this guy, but my train of thought was like, okay, why don't the Raiders pick up somebody who's available? Maybe like Carson Wentz, who's still, he could sling the ball, But I get it, it's a process. They probably want to check this guy out. He's obviously there for a purpose. So let's see how it goes. If Jacobs is gonna, give me those points this weekend, I'll take it, brother.
I think they got to get Adams back on track too. He had a nasty up on Monday night, but I think it was a little bit of mental wear and tear on him as well. I think if Devontae Adams was there mentally at that game, he would have caught that ball. It was a third down, 3rd and 4, and he dropped it. And so they're obviously trying to right the ship. I mean, if they make the playoffs, great. Anything could happen. The AFC is so stacked this year, which I don't think they are, but they gotta start somewhere. So I mean, they're a lot better than other teams in the league right now at the moment. They have talent. It's just they gotta get the program, the band back together. Let's get it going. Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about this, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. I already talked about it. It's just, what are you doing, Mark Davis?
The Raiders still have to pay John Gruden and Josh McDaniels $80 million over the next 4 years to not coach their football team.
It's like practically like alimony in the NFL.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
It happened at the Chargers game. I mean, the fans were going up to Mark Davis like, "Hey, fire the coach, get rid of McDaniels." And obviously, Mark Davis was pretty much like, "Well, I already paid this guy so much money. Like, how am I gonna pay out investment?" Where it's like, yeah, this.
Do you feel? Do you guys feel that John Gruden got a fair shot?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many seasons was he with them?
What was it? 1.5?
It wasn't much.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, you know what? I don't think he. I think he had a larger. Obviously, they had a larger, time in his head to develop and grow.
Right.
But it is what it is.
He got fired over. Wasn't it like some weird emails or something?
Yeah. When he wasn't even on. Was he on the Raiders? I thought it was when he was somewhere elsewhere.
Oh, was that with another team?
I'm not certain. But I know that's the fact that he got fired for was some pretty nasty emails, mind you. It was just pretty disgusting, pretty gross. The things that he said in his emails. He lost the locker room once everything got leaked. Once everything was in the media, everything's so accessible. Obviously, once you lose the locker room, like look at McDaniels, both of these guys lost the locker room. Obviously, that Monday night game, it was within their hands. That defense was playing its heart out, but the offense was not there. Devontae Adams was not there. I think the whole thing with Gruden, I'll never forget it was the game against Chicago. They're at Chicago, and the locker room was just like, I mean, the players just like turned their backs on him. Like they were like giving up points to the Bears. They were like, nah, blocking. Or they weren't even making plays on defense. It was bad, and that's the game where he got fired.
What about Josh McDaniels? Did he get a first shot?
I don't. I think so, but they wanted success right away. And it's such a cutthroat league. We've been saying this in every podcast that we've done. If there's no results right away, man. Right. You're gonna get bounced,
right.
or they're gonna shop you around. But I guess if they, I want to, what, I'll retract my statement. They did get a fair, shake.
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't get it fast enough,
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
I think a lot of it too is locker room. It's just you keep hearing stories about how the whole thing with Gruden, he was a very respected coach, mind you. I mean, before he even came back into the organization as a Raiders coach, even as working the booth, the whole Gruden Grinders thing, he was very well respected with the players. But once all this stuff came out, once the genie comes out of the bottle, there's no putting the genie back in. That's pretty much what happened with both of these guys. I mean, we don't really know for certain what happened with McDaniels, where it's like, but for the headlines in the next day following, which is today, to say, oh, the locker room is happier, the locker room is this, and everybody's jumping around, and it's just like, it's kind of, it makes you think like the Wizard of Oz, like ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. It's totally different now. It's like, I think these guys are like, okay, they're ready for the fresh start. It obviously didn't work out with McDaniels. It wasn't a players thing. He had the weapons. He had players on offense and defense. It was just, I think, his personality or the way he wanted to run things, and they probably rubbed some players the wrong way. Granted, we're in 2023 now. This isn't 1970s football anymore, 1980s, even at that. Yeah. It's a different generation of people. I think he wanted to bring the Patriot way to become the Raiders wing, and that the Raiders weren't buying it. They're like, no, we're not. You're not Bill Belichick. You haven't done anything. Yes, granted, you're a Super Bowl winning coach, but you're not the head coach. You are a coordinator. Well, sometimes, like they say too, sometimes some of these coaches are better off as coordinators than head coaches, and I think that's what also happened too. Where he probably got too big for his britches, and that's kind of what happened. I think I've heard a lot of stories too about how he's just like, he's a snake, like, and so people are gonna say things. He said, she said, he said. It's all hearsay until we actually know the facts.
Right. Yeah, I think it's pretty much what you guys said. It's one, they didn't produce the results, and there wasn't the leadership there. And say like Bill Belichick has now had the success that he had with Brady. Obviously, I think a big part of the Patriot way was basically the Brady way. But even if you take Tom Brady away, or you just put him on the side, Bill Belichick was not going to cause you outside problems. Outside of the organization, he wasn't gonna have scandals. He wasn't gonna do anything crazy. He was just good. He was very good at keeping everything in house, keeping all the problems internally, and managing the clubhouse, managing everything inside, keeping everything together.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing to give Bill Belichick credit, even if he's not having the success that he had previously.
Correct.
All right.
It just blows my mind that these guys are getting paid so much money just for getting fired.
For nothing. Yeah.
Like, good Lord, man.
Yeah. And the college coaches, they coach even harder than the NFL coaches. And in college, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna cut you, and that's it. Like, the college is way more cutthroat, because it's like these coaches feel like they're God. Yeah. I mean, look at Harbaugh. Look at the whole Harbaugh situation in Michigan. It's like you have guys come in, and he could just one day be like, hey, you know what? You're out. You get out of here. Pack up your locker. And that's what's different. You're paying these guys, you're paying the players more than the coach, so the players' opinion matters more.
Yeah, so if they ask you, like, what's your dream job? You should say, fired NFL coach.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, why not?
Why not? 80 million for nothing.
You're not making my lifetime, so yeah.
Oh man. So Brian, you talked a little bit about the Rams fan base being a transient fan base, and I can't remember who I was listening to, and they were talking about how the Rams are not even number one in Southern California sports. That number one is USC, and then the Dodgers. No, wait, I forgot how they put it, but they said basically they put the Rams at number 4.
Yeah. I've heard this before. I think it was Colin Cowherd said.
Was it Colin Cowherd? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's like Lakers 1, Dodgers 2. What is it? I think like LAFC is like 3rd.
Yeah, they had USC football above the Rams, and the guy who was talking, he was putting the UCLA and the Rams to get UCLA football and the Rams about equal.
Correct. Yeah. Sadly, Commissioner, it's gonna take some time to build a fan base. Granted, yes, the Rams left LA. I love the fact that they came back. The Raiders never came back. They were gonna come back. It wasn't gonna happen. It was gonna be the Rams and the Raiders. But then at the last minute, the Chargers swooped in. I think it's just some kind of sweetheart deal, and they're here too. So it's like I said before. I see when I go drop off my daughter at school, and I see little kids running around with Rams gear. I love it.
That's awesome
because that's the future fan base right there. Is the kids around my daughter's age. My daughter is 6. She's gonna be turned 7 in January. These are those are your future Rams, Chargers. Of course, you're gonna have your Raider fans because their dads and the families are all Raiders fans. But even my nephews, I think one of them's a Bills fan because of Josh Allen, and then one of them's a Cowboys fan. My brother's a hardcore Raider fan. So my brother's like, no, at first he's like, no, you're not gonna be a Chiefs fan. I mean, and it's just like, but he's kind of like, you know what? I can't force these guys to do anything that they don't want to. So he's kind of goes with it. Not happy about it. It's like my daughter, like when she grows up and she brings on a 49ers fan or I'm like, oh, I'm doing this for my daughter. But it's gonna take time. I mean, look at the Clippers. The Clippers have been here since the '80s, and they're still struggling for a fan base. And granted, they never won anything. That's true. They're building a dome, so I'm hoping that this new dome, it looks pretty sweet. I've seen the footage of how it looks inside, and they want to make it look like a kind of like a college atmosphere where it's kind of like a UCLA with the Poly Pavilion, like the Bruin Den is just they're all on top of each other, like in Duke basketball. Yeah. You look at those courts and it's just wow, it's definitely it's a spectacle. It's very fan heavy, very fan favorable type of environment, and so. I'm not losing. I'm never gonna lose hope on my Rams. As long as our Rams don't leave LA, I'm good. I'm Rams till death do us part. If they decide to leave again, and it's just well, man, who am I gonna root for again? And that's the thing. It's we haven't had football our generation. Me and DG and you, Commish, we haven't had football for 20 plus years, and then they come back, and it's just well, what do you expect? Everybody moved on. You can't. Yeah. It's like a prison relationship in a way, or
long distance.
Wait for me is just she's not gonna wait for you, brother. Come on, he's with Jody. I just saw her the other day, and it's not happening, brother. Sorry. I'll make sure to put some money on your book.
Were you a fan of a team before the Rams?
I'll tell you this, guys. Look. I was a lost puppy for a long time, okay? And you can go ahead and laugh it up, Brian. I know you saw it, Commish, because I was Seattle. Yeah. Whatever hot team was happening, I was riding with them. It was Seattle for 4 or 5 seasons. Then it was New England. And I was like, yeah, I'm a New England fan. But as soon as the Rams came back to LA, I was like, I'm done with this. Whether they suck or not, I needed a home team, and that's why I'm like, you know what, win or lose, like Brian said, that's my home team,
Yes, because did you? I mean, when I was growing up, I was like, man, as a kid, I was, me and my brother, we grew up as Raider fans.
Yeah, I grew up as a Raider fan too as a kid.
I always was in my mind. I was like, man, if LA ever gets a team again, I'm gonna root for the LA team. And the Rams came first. And I was like, damn, I'm a Rams fan. And my brother hated the fact. He's like, oh, are you going to do me like that? My brother, I told this to Turtle, who's a guy in our league as well. And I told Turtle, him, dude, if LA ever gets a team, I'm switching teams. No doubt about it. And that's what happened. They came in 2016. They were terrible. And I didn't care because it's man, we got a team. And 17, different story. Got the Super Bowl. We lost, whatever. And 2 years after that, Super Bowl, baby, let's go. And they're still not done. It's not gonna happen this year, but the future is bright.
So I think like the only thing that's gonna make them bump up and start being ahead of like USC football and stuff like that, it's just gonna be winning. That's the only thing that'll do it.
Yes.
You have to get people excited, and the only thing that gets them excited, like DG says, he would follow the hot team. That's what people do. So like you'll get a lot of bandwagon fans, but you'll get them.
And
You know what I mean?
On,
and every time that they come and maybe they lose in the playoffs, but every year it just keeps getting bigger. If they can make the playoffs, every year it's going to get bigger and bigger. That's like the only way to. Unfortunately, here in Southern California, that's the only way to build the fan base. That's how the Lakers did it. That's how the Dodgers did it. It was just winning.
The Warriors.
The Warriors.
No, the Golden State. Well, basketball. I'm talking about basketball. You know how Golden State Warriors when they were winning their championships. Dude,
oh yeah. I got what you're saying. In my head, I was thinking LA. I'm like the Warriors.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, here in LA, it's like there was like no Laker fans to be found. Everybody was turning to a Warriors fan.
Oh yeah.
And then go back years, like maybe like 10, 20, 30 years before that, it's the Bulls, Jordan's Bulls.
Yes.
Chicago Bulls stuff.
Yeah. I was a diehard Laker fan growing up as a kid.
Right.
I still had a Chicago Bulls, tank top because of Michael Jordan. That's just what it was.
Yeah. Commissioner and Brian, I think it's just Lakers, Dodgers, USC football. They're deep rooted since like the 50s in LA, and it's hard to beat that. Like you said, the Rams need to be here for a minute. They need to keep winning.
Yeah.
And Brian, like you said, it's that newer generation that's going to pick them up, hopefully, and we'll see. Hopefully, they'll bump up to number 3 or 4,
Yeah, it's hopeful because even like LAFC, the whole Galaxy thing, but like LAFC, like it's like taking off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
MLS.
Part of it though is that the Galaxy was not cool. Like they just were not a cool team. The LAFC seems like a cooler team to root for, and to like the logo looks better. Like the Galaxy, even as a kid, I'm like, what is this nerdy stuff? Like, you know what I mean? It did not look cool. It did not look good to have a Galaxy jersey or whatever. It just looked really geeky. You didn't want that. The LAFC, the logo looks nice. The black shirts with gold lettering, that's pretty cool.
That's kind of like the same thing like with the Raiders. It's like that silver and black.
Yeah.
It's just like it looks sweet. I mean, it's classic. It's Al Davis, rest in peace, against her. That's a trademark.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna last forever.
Yeah, that was mesmerizing as a kid, seeing the silver and black and the logo.
It's just like the song, the Raiders song, the Autumn Wind. Oh, what a Autumn Wind, the Raider Wind. Oh, what a great song.
I will say that your Rams have a much better uniform now than they did back in the day. That uniform looks really nice. Those colors that they have.
I'm gonna sadly disagree with you, Kamish. I'm old school. Like, I wasn't big on the St. Louis colors, I guess. Yeah. But man, I like the plain look. I don't know. I like those Eagles uniforms, the Kelly Greens. Oh, they're sweet. Oh, those Houston Oilers uniforms. Oh man,
they look nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what a combo, and then just like that oil tower on the helmet. That's sweet. But I like the old school, like the 70s Rams, where it's like the blue and white with the horns are white, and just like the just the regular blue stripe. White shirt, clean. I was like, oh, we bring those back.
Yeah, Brian, I know you mentioned the Oilers right now. I know they use these specific ones on Sunday, this past weekend. But I saw somewhere, and I don't know if you saw it as well, that they can't use that again because of the colorway or something like that.
No. So the thing was not the Tennessee Titans, but it was a team in college team in Houston, if I'm not mistaken. They were trying to game, and the NFL sent them a cease and desist. Yeah.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah, it's hardcore, man. Yeah.
Big Papi came out and was like, no.
Man. What did the Oilers become?
No.
Matzo ball.
What team became what team was the Oilers?
They were the Houston Oilers.
But what did they become? The Titans?
They became the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
So what happened was the owner was just a cheap bastard, and he didn't care about the team, and the fans in Houston, like, they wanted to keep the team, but they were playing in the Astrodome, and they wanted like a whole new dome, what have you. They were sharing the dome to the Houston Astros at the time, and so they were like, you know what, we're gonna pick up our stuff and go, and yeah, they went to Tennessee and they became the Titans.
Yeah, I used to love their helmet with the oil derrick on the side.
Yes, yeah, they're sweet, man. They're sweet, and just like that whole, it's so 90s, you know what I mean? Like just like the lettering, I love it. It kind of it gives you like the nostalgia, like the old style.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I was a kid, I'd go to the grocery store and I'd get a quarter and you'd put it in the machine and you'd get a little ball with the helmet and you had to put the stickers on the side of the helmet.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They still they have like the little stickers too now. I've seen with the laundromat, and dude, it's hard because it's like you don't know what you're gonna get. So it's like you get a team that you really don't want. You're like, oh man, I spent like 50
yeah. No, I loved every time I got one. I'd get one. I had a whole little stack of them in a row. I mean, I didn't really understand what they were or what the team was, but like I was like, oh, I got the little Patriot. Whatever. I didn't even know what a Patriot was.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about the NFL. They do such a good job with the designs and the schemes. It's just like so memorable. Like you can just recognize like right off the bat, like, oh, this is that team. Or, yeah. You know what the funniest one is? The Cleveland Browns. I mean, it's a brown helmet with the white stripes. It's like that's the logo.
yeah.
on the 50-yard line now, and that's like vintage Cleveland Browns. But it's just funny, like their actual logo is like a brown Riddle helmet with the basic quarterback face mask. I love it though.
Man. You're right. They're so memorable, so iconic. The logos they had, the uniforms.
Yeah.
I still remember that 30 for 30 John Elway to Marino, and they're doing the draft, and they have a football helmet phone, and that's how they're getting the draft calls from this football helmet phone.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Genius marketing.
The NFL is king and will always be king. Yeah, the NFL is just like. Go ahead.
I know you mentioned the little helmets. I remember going to the laundromat and there was the stickers. They were kind of like glittery.
Oh yeah. I know those. I remember those.
Oh man, kind of like one of you guys mentioned that if it wasn't my a team I liked, I was like, oh man, I don't know where to stick it. I'll just put it in the stop sign.
I just read the
times where you go up to it and there was already like a stack on top. It's because of the teams I guess we wouldn't want.
Yeah, I remember those stickers. Yeah, they were like glittery, like almost like a hologram almost. Like,
I was trying to look for them, but I couldn't find them. But yeah, dude. The good old days, right?
The nostalgia, like I said, it's the nostalgia.
Yeah, for sure.
You got any topics, Brian?
Yeah, I kind of want to get into the. So the big topic is the Chiefs and the Dolphins playing in Germany.
And,
but prior, how like the Germans have like adopted the Chiefs as like their team. So it's funny how they're like expanding into Europe, but I heard a lot of sayings about how season ticket fans of the Chiefs should be upset because this is like one of the best games of the season. I mean, it's a Tyreek Hill revenge game.
Yeah, man.
Playing at Germany, it's kind of mind blowing.
Oh, so they lose a home game.
Okay, and so I want to go into this last week. The Chiefs went into Denver. I mean, it was. I get it. Mahomes had the flu, but man, I just can't say it enough. They're not the same Chiefs. Not the same Chiefs. And I think the Finns are going to take them this week. That's my bold take.
Yeah. Oh, hot take already, huh?
Randy Johnson fastballs. Oh yeah. Hot.
Yeah, to what you mentioned, Brand. Yeah, if I were a season ticket holder, I would be upset. I would have emailed somebody because that's the best game of this.
Yeah.
and it's in Germany. Like, oh, man, come on,
Yeah, fly me out there, put me up in a hotel.
Son, hey, you know what? Pay for my hotel.
Yeah.
I'm sure these season tickets aren't cheap for the Chiefs. Come on, But
And they're-
yeah, that's
too, so yeah. Defending Super Bowl champs. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That screws over the season ticket holders. I mean, there's a lot of pluses for the NFL to do that, but
Yeah.
maybe it's not up to the Chiefs. Maybe it's just the NFL. Like,
Pretty much, yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, they flexed their muscle and were like, well, we're gonna do what we want. And
yeah.
they pretty much did the whole Cartman. I'm gonna do what I want. Yeah, but
Hey, I don't know about you guys. I wake up pretty early regardless. I'm just glad there's a football game at 6 a.m. in the West Coast.
people complain about like, oh, it's too early, and it's like on the East Coast it's 9:30. It's like the perfect time.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like for 6:30. I don't care. I don't care if it's a dog food game. If it's like who's the two worst teams, Carolina and Chicago playing, I'm still gonna watch.
Wow. So people on the East Coast, they got to watch that at 3 in the morning.
No, 9:30 a.m.
9:30.
Oh, 9:30.
Yeah.
I guess you have to miss church.
I got okay. Oh, okay. So they watch at 6 and we watch at 9.
No,
The other way.
The other way.
The other way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they were ahead of us.
And it's daylight savings, so we got an extra hour of sleep, so it's not a problem.
Daylight savings time.
Yeah. It's a, yeah, I mean,
Do you catch those early morning games, Commish?
No, I usually miss them on Saturdays. Yeah. No, they're Sundays, right? Yeah. I usually miss those games.
I hear you.
Yeah. I usually
have to
try to
like,
sleep in.
even if I'm like washing the dishes or doing something, it's like it's going on my phone. I'm not
Yeah.
missing a snap. Yeah.
And it's always like a little panic attack. I'm like, oh, did I set up? Do I have somebody playing? Did I miss it? Was I supposed to take somebody out
So you
of
have
my
to
lineup?
You have to be ready. Yeah.
Commish, you don't have to set don't set up any lineup, bro. You don't have to do that this week, bro. You're not facing anybody, bro. It's just me.
Just put it. Oh, am I going against you?
Bro, come on.
Mitch thought that he was going against you last week when he was going against me.
Yeah, I thought I got it backwards.
Oh, so you underestimated, huh, Commish?
No, I would have done the same things, but I thought it was you.
You naughty boy.
Yeah. Part of my streak, because I went 7-0, but part of my streak was that I had like maybe two or one of our guys. I played him twice early, and he's been having a bad season, so I was able to get it padded that record. But no, that was Big Al.
I was big.
Okay. Hey, you know what, guys? It's you two on the top, and then it's a bunch of us in the middle, all in 4-4, 3-4, and then it's the bottom two.
The bottom two.
And Mr. Owen 7 or 0-8, whatever.
0-8. That's rough.
Unfortunately, yeah, tough cookies.
Sadly, I mean, he didn't make the draft, so yeah.
Man, one day we got to bring that loser trophy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
we're talking about we get banned. We get automatically banned from YouTube.
Like, what type of devil worship?
Some Bilderberg or whatever they call it.
Commissioner gonna get like a letter or an email from me from YouTube being like, no,
this isn't happening.
Can't have that.
It's gonna be like Alex Jones investigating us. They're worshiping some yellow pineapple with a large banana dong.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, it's bad.
Man, I'm sorry, I forgot what the topic was.
Oh yeah, Brian.
Brian, what was the
What's
topic?
your next topic, Brian?
Next topic.
It's mostly about the Chiefs in Germany instead of Arrowhead and how they kind of.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the Germans could appreciate that game. I mean, I don't know.
I definitely think they're gonna. Yeah, it's gonna cost a lot of euros or what are they? What is it? Francs?
Francs, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deutschmarks. I don't know, whatever it is they got over there.
Regardless, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Yeah. No, Francs. Yeah, Francs is French. So I think the Germans are Deutschmarks.
Mm. or
Man.
pounds or yeah.
Well, I hope it works. I hope they get a huge fan base over there. It'd be fun to get players from overseas. That'd be fun to see, like in the future, players from Germany and all over Europe, France.
From
That'd be
Germany,
interesting.
the Patriots is a fullback.
Yeah. Well, they have, but like I think rugby. You know, I'm not sure if in Europe. Maybe I'm thinking of like Australia and New Zealand, but I think maybe rugby is also big over there.
Rugby's really big. Yeah, yeah,
Pretty similar,
yeah,
a little different.
yeah. But it's just the whole thing with the scrum and how it's. I don't know. Like I tried to watch it and I just couldn't. I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's cultural. You have to grow up with certain sports.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have anything else, Brian?
Yeah, I kind of also wanted to go over the Bills and the Bengals Sunday Night Football. That's a good one. And my other hot take is the Bengals are going to show the Bills who is the king in the AFC. I mean, I like the Finns, but man, these Bengals are the dark horse. They dug themselves in an early hole, but they need this win more than the Bills do. If the Bills lose, they're still in playoff contention. If the Bills lose, they're still in playoff contention. If the Bengals win, they're definitely gonna. They need it to survive, because if they lose, they're gonna have to scrap the rest of the season to even make because the AFC is so deep.
Yeah, I love when the Sunday night game is actually a good, like, valuable game. That's prime time, right there.
Yeah, and this is the last time they played. They didn't play. They did play each other in the playoffs last year. What was it at? Yeah, it was. It was at Buffalo, and they lost. Buffalo beat them, and then Buffalo went with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs beat them. Yeah. It's kind of like a revenge game.
Wait, so who are you picking?
I'm picking the Bengals.
Bengals. Okay.
Bengals. Burrow, Commissioner Burrow.
Yeah. He played pretty well last. I mean, not that would have helped me. I did the math. I still would have lost by 2, even if I had played Burrow. But he got the points.
Okay.
Wow.
He got 27 points.
Yeah.
You should play him. I think you should play him.
I should play him. Just flip the coin.
Now the 49ers, everybody's talking up and talking. Oh man, there's always memes now about how like they start off hot and now it's like they're like a fraud, and it's like I've said it all along. It's like, yeah, they'll win the West, no problem. I mean, Seattle is not that great, even though they're in first place right now. But the Rams aren't going anywhere. The Cardinals are not going anywhere. Even if they get Kyler back, they're not going to do anything drastic or dramatic.
The Niners need Deebo Samuel back.
They need Deebo Samuel back. And he's going to come this week, yeah. I mean, well, they're on a bye. They might come next week.
Yeah. Are you picking the Bengals, DJ, or the Bills?
Nah, I'm gonna go with Bills, bro.
Well, DG had a good pick. When was it yesterday? Thursday Night Football. You won that bet against.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got me $10. That was well, he didn't pay till today, but it would have been my lunch. Yeah, I took the Steelers over the what did they play?
The Oilers.
The Oilers, yeah, the Oilers. That's right. But yeah, that Brian, I know you were like, damn, bro, bold pick. But
yeah, you had the Titans, huh, Brian?
I picked the Titans. I just thought the Levis was at least gonna get like one of those touchdowns, but a lot of injuries on the offensive line. What was it? One of their receivers, was it Westbrook or Kinney? One of the receivers got concussed really bad too. He like went up for the ball. And,
yeah,
like
the fourth quarter, right?
The fourth quarter, yeah. The close to winning drive. I mean, threw the pick in the end zone to seal it off for the Steelers. But man, that Levis kid he threw for close to 300 yards. It was like, whoa. And they were throwing to like these unknown receivers like Phillips. And I even forgot who the other receiver was. It wasn't all Hopkins. He was targeting Hopkins a lot, but even Hopkins couldn't like pull through. He was like getting double teamed. I know Chica Quanco got one catch. He tried to target one of the Spears in the end zone, but it went way over his head. And then Derrick Henry just doesn't look like Derrick Henry. I mean, he had the touchdown, yes, granted, but he's up there in age, and I'm pretty sure that poor man is hurting. Like you can tell, like he's be out there. These guys are, yes, they're warriors. I give it to them. I mean, it's not combat like what I was through. You know, that's why I don't like to use the term warrior for a football player very loosely. But I give it to them. It's like, man, for somebody that's gonna go out there in pain and go out there and do their job, my hat's off to them, definitely. And so he's definitely in pain. That's why you have Tajay Spears in there, kind of like doing the committee thing. But man, it's tough. It's tough because they're fighting to stay alive. But this whole thing that they might bring back Tannehill, man, it's like you guys got to move on from Tannehill. I can see him like not being there next year. It's gonna be Levis's job, and he's proved it in 2 games. I mean, yes, he lost yesterday, but man, that first game was like something out of a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Go in and be so dominant like that, was just like wow. And just the placement of those footballs, was like wow. It was nice. It was good to see.
Hey, Brian, quick question for you. Going back to the Bills versus Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals, are they for real?
They're for real. They're for real. Yeah, they're for real. I mean, granted,
had that rough start because of the injury.
Yeah, I picked the Browns to win the North.
Yeah.
And man, the Browns are like right there. But they're getting Watson back this week. Man, that defense is solid. They're playing Arizona this week. This is a week where they have to win. You got to win, regardless if it's PJ Walker back there. Arizona is they're so easy. The thing too is like I saw that they were playing the NFC West this year, so I'm like, okay, Seattle, they could take out Seattle. Yeah, they lost to Seattle by like 3 points. They could take out my Rams. I know they're gonna play my Rams eventually. They could take out Arizona. They took out the Niners, and they didn't say, but a win's a win. And you took out the best team in that division. I mean, the only hard teams that you're going to play are obviously the Steelers who have a pulse. They're playing to win still. The Ravens look good, but I never trust the Ravens for some reason. I just can't trust Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar. If I had him on my fantasy team, I would love to have him and play him every week. I just don't trust him. I just feel like he's like gonna get one hit and one like really good hit, and it's gonna be like done. Like he's out for the season. We're going through that same story over again. Or I think if they do win the North and they go in and they play like a opponent that's maybe like I would say like they play the Dolphins in the first round, what have you. The Dolphins easily take them out. I just think they're not a complete team. That's just my opinion about the Ravens. But the Bengals are for real. It's just the whole thing was Burrow. Burrow's not right.
Yeah.
Right now. Like he's right. Like he's good to go. Like
he's good, huh?
Dude, like have him on the bench, could let him collect a little bit of dust him off. Dude, for him to go in there and take out a really good pass rush like the Niners at San Francisco and take him out like that, man. And some of the plays he was doing out of the pocket where he was just like, it was one where it's like he was already going down for a sack and he like launches it to Chase and just like, wow.
Yeah, he dodged like 3 blocks, right? Something like that. It was crazy.
He is like he's Burrow. He's built for these situations where it's like I think he feeds off of being an underdog. Like he likes that. He likes being in that position. He doesn't want to be on top. I mean, of course, someday he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to be on top. But I'm saying it like in the game position, like he does not fear being down. He's such a good story. I love guys like that. You know
I think some people forgot how good he is, and I'm one of them. Like he just was injured, and now that he's back,
he was injured.
Y'all must have forgot.
Respect on my name.
You put respect on that man's name. That man's gonna win a Super Bowl. He's gonna win a Super Bowl. Not this year.
For the Bengals?
For the Bengals, yeah. Not this year.
Oh yeah, they'll keep him.
It's gonna come. As long as he stays healthy and he's back on track and just Josh Allen, I love Josh Allen, but he has a shoulder injury and they're like kind of downplaying it. I think it's really affecting him because he's not really doing what he does with the whole kind of like being mobile and running and taking big hits. It's not in his arsenal anymore. That's what I noticed.
That was kind of the talk this week, right? About him basically not sliding and just taking those tackles.
Yes.
And I think they said he has the second most
on.
rushing touchdowns of any quarterback after Cam Newton.
Yes. And
Really?
look at what happened with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
He won at one Super Bowl, and then after that, he vanished. I mean, yeah, he stayed in the league. He kind of lingered, but he was never the same.
Yeah.
All these injuries, they all catch up to you. Sadly, I mean, yeah, like I said, even my profession as a mailman, like I've gotten injured like multiple times, and like it catches up to you. Yeah.
I think part of it is that quarterbacks like Cam Newton and Josh Allen, they're big and they're physical, so they feel like they can do that.
Yeah.
But over time, you can't do that. You got to be like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, where you just stay in the pocket and throw the ball away as soon as they're going to touch you.
Even Manning, I mean, with that Super Bowl that he won with the Broncos, it wasn't even like all him. It was like the defense. The defense that Von Miller was just like a monster. Von Miller was the MVP of that Super Bowl, was he not? If I'm not mistaken. I know it's been a while. But that defense was the thing that won that Super Bowl.
You're talking about the Manning one?
Yeah, with the Broncos.
Yeah. You're right. The defense won him that game, and I remember thinking about that, how like he basically did a lot of the offense early on, and then they just carried him over the finish line.
I mean, he was literally like this, like
he was a statue, bro.
Yeah.
He was like this. He was like Frankenstein. Like he couldn't move it. He couldn't. It was like he had no functioning neck. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I still remember the very first fantasy football game. Like, I'm not sure what we're doing or how we're playing, but I just know I just know Peyton. So I got Peyton Manning, and he goes out there first game, 7 touchdowns. And I'm like, oh, cool, this game is fun.
I like this.
Yeah. How come we haven't been playing fantasy football? I've just been watching this all willy-nilly without doing anything.
You felt that rush, huh?
It never happened again.
Yeah. Here the league was 8 guys, remember?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It was very easy with 8 guys.
Well, technically 7 because Mitchell really wasn't playing.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
But it's so easy with 8 guys. You could just pick up anybody and they'll be good. But with 10 guys, it's good because it's more challenging.
And then, granted, we have 9 humans and 1 AI, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, the bot.
Hey, but that AI has 3 wins. So it's doing something right.
It's doing something.
I'm telling you, she's going to eventually take over.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're talking about quarterbacks and injuries, and every time they do the Jalen Hurts, what is it, tush push?
Tush push. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, please don't get injured.
Yeah.
But he scores, and I'm like, okay, things are good. But man, like he's just asking for a big injury at that.
He's battling a knee injury. Like he has a legitimate knee injury. And he's still going out there. I mean, like I told the commission last podcast, the guy's a machine. Like, I love a player like that where it's like he wants to play every down. He's just a machine. That loss against the Jets was just like he just didn't look right. So that's okay. Like throw it away. That's obviously their only loss of the season so far. Yeah, there's only one lost team that's left. But man, it's like. He does everything so well, and just like his story, like I told the commissioner last time, like his dad was a coach for his high school team, and he's like bounced through so much adversity, and just like nobody really gave him a chance. And even when he got drafted, it was like, well, nobody really expected him to be this good. And that first time he was in the playoffs against Brady's Bucks, and Brady just wiped them off the floor with them. He came back the next year. What do you think? Super Bowl. I mean, they went all the way through. Yes, he lost to Mahomes, had a costly fumble, but he's right back on track again. I love it. I'm not even an Eagles fan. I mean, obviously I'm a Rams fan, but I want to see him win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that people just root for him.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for him. Yeah.
And that fan base is hungry right now.
Yeah,
they're all about it.
Oh yeah.
With Nick Foles, so it's like you guys aren't really like there's no Super Bowl drought, but they see the potential, obviously, and
Yeah.
the way that the team is being built, even on both sides of the ball, they're bound for the Super Bowl again.
Oh yeah,
And NFC thin.
definitely.
You got any topics, DG?
Yes, sir. I got some quick fire ones. If you guys, all right. So the Panthers finally won.
Yeah.
Will they get a second win?
Wait, I
Brian,
missed that. The Panthers won?
They got their first win last week, bro.
Oh, wow.
Or even before we got on, I was like,
Who they beat?
Yeah.
Oh, good question.
Who did the Panthers beat?
The Houston Texans.
Oh, the Texans.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. That makes sense.
This is like that was like his first actual game where he was terrible. And Adam Thielen was shining. It's unreal. Like even I didn't see this coming. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody in the fantasy community or football fans saw that Thielen would get like his second life. I guess it's just like wow. That's his go-to guy is Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Now that the Raiders have gotten rid of the trash.
Wait. I'm sorry, DJ. Was that your question about the Panthers?
Oh yeah. Are they gonna get any more wins?
Oh, okay. No.
Perfect.
1-6-1. Yeah.
Raiders. Are they better now? Brian, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say enough. They got to incorporate, obviously, you got Jacoby Myers, who's been solid, even with McDaniels.
Yeah.
But you got Devontae Adams, let him feast. And I like the O'Connell kid. He can throw a pretty deep ball. So I could see Adams going deep. You know, O'Connell throws him one. Bad matchup between Adams in the corner or Adams in the safety or what have you, whoever's covering them. And Josh Jacobs is going to feast. You know, he's going to eat. That's one guy that was just like, man, I'll be wanting to trade. When you said, oh, you want to trade Jacobs, I was like, dude, like, if I could kind of get him on the cheap, oh my God.
Bro, because he wasn't, they weren't using him. Like they weren't even giving him the ball. I'm like, well, why do I have him for?
He was the whole him. Like, I think everybody talks about like they don't need training camp, but he's kind of like the example of why you actually need training camp because he kind of did come on like not in the very best of shape.
He wasn't ready, huh?
He wasn't ready. He needed like those snaps, so he needed that extra training camp. Granted, he's coming back. He's finding his way.
Yeah.
They're gonna be so much better. Max Crosby is like still there. You have Max Crosby. He's been feasting. He kept him single-handedly kept them in the game against the Lions, and it's how the offense couldn't like do anything. It was bad. I think it falls on Garoppolo. I think it was the right move to bench him. Jimmy's great, wonderful human being. I'm sure he's a great quarterback. But it's just too many injuries, one injury after another. The man's obviously in pain. Just put him out of his misery. Let him sit back. Let him coach up this kid. I mean, like I said before, imagine, okay, let's say if the Raiders do pick up a first pick next draft. Caleb Williams in that Raiders outfit, oh man, that would actually make the team to the moon. Right?
Yeah, I could do that.
Back, that's gonna make big plays.
What was the other USC quarterback who went to the Raiders? You remember? Carson Palmer. There's another one that I was thinking of.
Carson Palmer, but yeah, I mean that was he was already on his way out.
But the other one, Marinovich.
Oh, Marinovich.
Oh,
yeah. He was a top pick too. Yeah. Just
so he got into the heroin.
Sadly, I mean, it's like he wasn't. It was kind of like a Johnny Manziel before there was a Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
He really didn't want to be there. He was like, "Well, my dad's making me do this, so it's like I had to do it, keep my dad happy." I think once he became an adult and he was like, he can do his own decisions. Obviously, he got the bag. He's like, "Oh, I'm taking the money and running. Like, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm a grown man."
Right.
What do you think, Commish? Raiders going to get any better?
I think they are. For psychological reasons. I think they're going to have a honeymoon period. They just broke up with their girlfriend. Now they're going to get in shape. They're going to lose some weight.
Meet you at the gym, bro.
They're gonna go to the gym. They're gonna start eating healthy. They're gonna have shakes for breakfast. You know, they're gonna start hanging out with the boys again. They're gonna get more positive energy. There's nobody to tell them not to do this, not to do that, and then they're gonna want to perform better, just to attract somebody else. It's just new now, and I think once you get this newness, like sometimes teams get a new coach. There's a little honeymoon period, and they start playing well. And I think that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a psychological shift that everything's kind of new, and they're gonna start playing better. Because I don't think they can get worse.
If I was thinking, it would not look like this. Like this would be all gone. I have a haircut, you know. Beard, so it's like let's just go with it. Yeah. It's all good.
All right, and my final one, just to switch over to baseball because the baseball season just ended.
Yeah.
Texas winning it. Corey Seager, what a man! Wish him the best. You know, he's such a great player. Man, the ratings, they were just not there.
Yeah.
It seems like nobody paid attention.
Yeah.
I get it. Baseball's boring. So if you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. I didn't catch a game. I didn't even know when they were playing. And I think I saw the first game. Everything past that, I was like, oh, I think it's like every other day. It wasn't.
Right.
But man, like what a disappointment. I don't know. I kind of feel like baseball, you know, is dying. What do you thoughts, takes? What do you guys?
Yeah, well said, DG, because I think ever since like gambling is like taking that next step, football has always been connected with gambling, and now that it's like the marriage is like they consummated the marriage, everybody's like drawn to football now. Like even if it's just like regular season football, like I said, like a dog food game where it's like the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. People are gonna tune in to watch that over the World Series. It is kind of sad, but I mean, we all like money. We all like winning. So
True.
You're gonna do what makes you happy. Obviously, both of those things make you happy. So
yeah, no, I hear you.
And plus, I mean, our team was out, so it's like I definitely was not ready to just like sit there and watch. It's just like I was happy for him. Like I told the commission last podcast, I hope the Dodgers can learn something from it. But man, that Texas Rangers team was kind of like they was it Simeon and they got Seager. Obviously, I mean the Dodgers don't want to sign him. It's a big money. They got Trey Turner instead. That was a big mistake. Granted, I kind of felt like okay, we got Trey Turner. Like it's a pretty sweet deal. I really liked Trey Turner at the time. I still like him. But man, it's kind of like it blew up in everybody's face where it's like he struggled so bad with the Phillies too in the playoffs. Where it's like, dude, like Corey Seager is like the guy, the ultimate shortstop.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Needed to have. Man, he was so clutch. I mean, like yes, like watching the highlights. I watched a couple innings, but he's the MVP for a reason.
Yeah.
He was so good.
Very well deserved.
Yeah, very well deserved. Congratulations, Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching Corey Seager when the Dodgers playoff games, and he was a thrill to watch. He thrilled us with hope. You know, he filled us with hope that we might win. We might get past these guys.
For the 2020 World Series as well.
Yeah. So happy for him. I guess he's not a Dodger anymore. I think he's like a Ranger now.
Correct.
He's official. You know what I mean? When you think of Corey Seager, he's a Ranger.
Yeah, full-fledged Texas Ranger. I mean, they signed him with big money too. A lot of 10-year contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Life. That's it.
He left for the money. That's
good for him.
Yeah, and good for him. I mean, it's that's what you play for. You play to win. You play to get paid.
The Dodgers should have paid him. I don't understand what's going on.
Bobby, like when the opening scene where his dad goes to the classroom, it's like it's all about getting paid and getting laid. And I mean, if you're not.
One of the things that I'm starting to hate about the Dodgers is how much they focus on the analytics now.
Yeah.
They're all about the numbers. They're all about the stats, and they're not focusing. I mean, you can do that to a certain extent, but you also have to give it the eyeball test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give it the smell test, give it the eyeball test, and then see if the numbers make sense. That's fine. But once you got to make the deal, you got to eyeball it. once you get to the playoffs, you can't go by the numbers anymore. You got to put that aside, and you got to start focusing on what you see and start developing that. And I agree with DG. I don't think that Major League does a good job advertising or promoting baseball. I never knew when the games were on.
Right.
I never saw an ad for it. And a big part of it, I think, is the deals that they made with cable television that you don't see these games anymore. Like when you grew up a Dodger fan, they used to be on free TV. You used to see them all the time. You got to watch them during the season. Now, if you want to watch the Dodgers, you got to shell out for a specific package at, I don't know, 100, whatever. And if you want to go to the game, it's still like priced out. It's not like before it was like $6 for, a pavilion or a top deck seat. You could take your kids. You know what I mean? Because baseball, I think, is a kid sport. Like that's when you fall in love with baseball is when you're a kid. And I don't think they're giving that to kids. They're not developing. They're not bringing them into the sport. They're not showing them that it's not accessible anymore. It's not. It's hard to find. It's hard to watch. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, you said email the commission very hard to find. Even like the great Christopher Russo, he's really well connected around baseball. Even he said he's like, man, like most of the time I can't even find the game. It's just like, what is going on? Yeah. And football is like so accessible. It's like CBS, NBC, Fox, ESPN, NFL Network, on your phone. I mean, they're like you said, they promoted it everywhere.
Yeah, Amazon. I watched the Thursday night games on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah. I like how you said eyeball test. I'm gonna give you guys wise words on that. Like those are wise words because that's the same thing with your fantasy team. You guys have really good rosters. Like I remember DG when you were like, "Oh, I'm on a losing streak," and it's just like DG, don't give up hope. Sometimes you analyze things, and granted, I'm one person like overanalyzes stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes like these projections are like way off, especially on ESPN.
Yeah.
You're saying this guy's gonna outscore this guy. Like Najee Harris. You guys questioned me both times on Najee Harris. It's like, nah, dude. Like I see it. That's the eyeball test. That's to his backfield. It's like, dude, like when my brother dropped Najee Harris, I'm like, oh yeah, give me some of that.
Come to Papa.
Come on, just come over here. I'll console you. You know, great football player. Be on my team. I'm all about motivating guys. I'm like the Dan Campbell of fantasy football. Like, let's go in there and this is a war zone. Like I'm ready. You know.
Nice.
It doesn't make sense. They focus too much on it. Imagine being in the finals and then Michael Jordan's playing and then you're like making the calculations and the stats say after the third quarter maybe he doesn't score as many points. So you're like, oh, let's sit down Jordan because he doesn't score as many points after this. No, he's clutch. When you need a shot at the end, that's who you want to have the ball. Why would you ignore all that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It's unreal. I know that's always been a topic of discussion for the Dodgers and our skipper. You know that he's just a robot. You know, like the heads above are telling him, okay, do this, do that, but
it's because my cousin showed me memes how it's like, like he's a puppet. And,
he's a puppet. Yeah.
And all these other big brain people up there are pulling the strings, and then sometimes it's like. He's a scapegoat at the end. Fire Dave Roberts. That's all you hear on all these sports talk, and it's like it's not. You're gonna bring in somebody else, and that's the reason why they've held on to Dave Roberts so long. They could have brought in Joe Madden. They could have brought in Bruce Bochy. They could have brought in anybody off of the couch, and they haven't brought him in because why? Because look at Bruce Bochy. He's managed the team how he wants to manage the team. I'm pretty sure he was like, hey, let me do what I do, is winning championships and bringing out the best out of players, and I think that's what he did with the Texas Rangers.
Definitely, 100%, Brian.
Yeah, if it was all just analytics and numbers, you have one of the biggest payrolls, and you have access to one of the best brains, I'm sure, to do all the stats, but you're not winning. So obviously something's missing.
Definitely, I agree. That's all I had, guys.
All right, you got anything else, Brian?
No, I mean we pretty much everything. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be here with you, gentlemen. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity. I love talking to you guys. I love what we have with the league. It's great. If you're on a fantasy football league, you should definitely join one. It's a lot of fun. We're family. We are family now.
Create that brotherhood, right, Brian?
That brotherhood, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a frat.
And I'm just so grateful. I'm a veteran. Veterans Day is coming up, and
Oh,
it's tough. I got like a lot of stuff going on personally, mentally, physically, psychologically, whatever. But man, this is like this right here, this podcast and the league itself is what keeps me going. Of course, my family, but
yeah. No, I got you. It's like a little escape,
Yeah.
from reality.
this,
For
I
sure.
look forward to all the time. Like I look forward to every Sunday now. I look forward to talking with you guys every Friday or Saturday. I'm just so blessed. So thank you guys. Thank you again.
Any last words,
Right.
DJ?
Wish me luck. I'm going up against a juggernaut. But yeah, man. Like Brian said, do the eyeball test on your squad. If they're good to go, they're good to go. Hopefully, I win.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And happy Veterans Days to all the veterans out there and to the big boss mailman. He's a proud veteran.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And set up those lineups, gentlemen. And then remember to subscribe. And we thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. All right.
Have a good one.
And if you have any questions, yeah.
Yeah, Brian will answer your questions.
Sounds good.